everyone, welcome to Morning Laziness. I'm Nilima Kayus, and today we are bringing to you an interview session with Ms. Sallie Holder. Morning Laziness is an online magazine dedicated to women. It showcases various articles, personal life stories, and interview sessions like this on different matters concerning women and about women. And today, our interviewee, Ms. Sallie Holder, happens to be a business coach, author, and speaker, as well as the founder of the BRIMM. Now, let's move on to our interviewee. Hello, Sallie. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Great. So, since you're on board with morning laziness, now tell us about your morning mood.
My morning mood, I kind of wake up a little groggy. I am very into coffee. I am an absolute coffee lover. First thing, I love to have a Starbucks in my hand. So I really kind of identify with one of your avatars, the chill at home. That is me in the morning, usually in a navy blue sweatshirt as well. So very much identify with that person. Yes, I'm a little slow in the morning.
Right. Well, talking about avatars, if you guys haven't checked out our very own NFT collection called Women in Metaverse, do check out and pick out your favorite meta avatar. Right. So moving ahead with the interview, how do you normally begin your day, Sallie?
I normally start with a bit of reading. I read quite a bit and try to use that as inspiration for my day. So typically, I do start with, trying to read at least 10 to 15 pages just to get inspired. I do spend much of my day trying to inspire others. So I really feel like it's important for me to start my day by filling my own cup first in order to be able to help others.
So talking about reading and books, what is your current read?
My current read, I am actually reading a brand new memoir that just came out by a celebrity, which is really rare for me. Normally I read all nonfiction books. So this is still nonfiction, but traditionally they're all business books. This one is called Mean Baby by Selma Blair. It just came out this week, and I was really interested in her story of survival. My mother-in-law has MS and she is suffering from the disease. So I was interested to hear her story surrounding that. And then I am also simultaneously reading Danielle Pink's new book, The Power of Regret. So I've been reading that, kind of changing between the two right now. So I love all of his other books. So it's a little business and a little bit of, intrigue.
Great. Well, how's your podcast, Hitting a Rock Middle, going on lately?
Yeah, so I had a fantastic interview last week with the founder and CEO of Plann. It is PLANN, a female founder, and she started the company I believe in 2016, and it is worldwide. It's a really fascinating app that allows you to do your social planning and automatic posting for you. So it's a scheduling app, but she is really expanding it into becoming a true marketing platform where all marketing channels can be scheduled through their system. So not only social media, but also the use of emails and your LinkedIn profile. And it's just going to allow you to really streamline that process. So her interview will be live in June, and that was a fantastic time. I actually interviewed the CEO of a logistics company earlier this morning, and she was talking about the role that logistics can play in helping small business owners grow their business. So helping them to outsource their shipping and distribution. So if they're really a product-based business, they, you can combine with a 3PL, third-party logistics company like Renewal Logistics, and be able to use them to help you grow so that you don't have to add on all of the additional employees yourself. In fact, 90% of the Fortune 500 companies all outsource their shipping and distribution to a third party. So as you're growing and selling more and more across the world, it really makes sense to create a partnership like that. So I loved talking to both of them about what's going on in their businesses and the growth that they see for other entrepreneurs.
Right. That sounds brilliant. Well, audience, after you watch this interview session, do check out the podcast and listen to our interview session as well. Great. So what exactly influenced you to kickstart the BRIMM?
Yeah, I actually practiced law for 10 years. I spent 10 years practicing labor and employment litigation, but I never really loved it. It wasn't necessarily my passion. I always felt a little bit more drawn to the entrepreneur. Everyone else in my family is an entrepreneur. And so I had the opportunity to, after practicing law, serve as the chief operating officer of 6 different companies in 6 different industries. And I always said, hey, if the right chance came along, then I would love to be able to serve the really small business owner, the true solopreneur, entrepreneur. And that chance came along in 2018. And so that's when I began a coaching business, and really providing the same advice to entrepreneurs that I was, using in the companies that I had been running over the course of the last several years. And so it's really expanded beyond that point of the one-on-one coaching to now serving groups. And so I am very focused at this point on helping female entrepreneurs increase their revenue, specifically to the 7 and 8 figure mark, so that they are past that $1 million mark. So that's specifically what we do now. I saw a hole in the marketplace that most coaches were really focused on the startup, the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, but very few were focused on helping companies move beyond the very difficult stages of growth that happen between 6 and 7 figures. It takes a different skill set to grow your company to $1 million than it does to grow it to 100,000. It involves a lot more leadership and hiring and processes and systemization. So that's what we do at the BRIMM. I wanted to give that high level direction to female entrepreneurs that I thought was really missing. So that's what we do.
Well, so as you mentioned previously, you had learned the law. So did those practices and the learnings about law help you out in this line of work? Say working as a business coach, perhaps the discipline you learned working as a lawyer or learning about it, had those ever helped you out in this line of work?
Oh my gosh, tremendously. You're right. Not only from the perspective of discipline, which not many people ask me about, but that is very true. I, would oftentimes sit at my desk reading and writing and summarizing content, which is really a lot of what you do as an attorney. Formulating an argument, and you're really gathering information and figuring out the right way to present that information. And I still do a tremendous amount of that. Synthesizing information is the majority of what I do as a coach, because I pride myself on staying, aware of new topics, new ideas, new ways of doing things, and then being able to take that information back to the community that I've created and have it sound simple and applicable to their workplace. And oftentimes that requires exactly the same skill set that I used practicing law: gathering, researching, pulling all of the information together, figuring out how to present it in a really cohesive way that makes sense and becomes applicable to the people that I'm presenting it to. So, yes, it is every day, not to mention the practical tips. In fact, we always do in my coaching program, the Revenue Accelerator, every other Tuesday, we have a office hours session where I am there and able to answer any questions that they have, despite whatever topic I might have taught on in that week or the previous week. And today they were asking me very specific examples of what employment policies need to be in place, right? How to streamline onboarding employees. And that is a lot of what I did as an attorney as well, is writing employment policies. And so yes, all of the 10 years comes into play on a daily basis.
Right. Well, what are the key what are the key programs delivered by the BRIMM right now?
So the number one thing that we are focused on is the Revenue Accelerator. I jokingly say, but it's very true. It's my baby. I've discovered a statistic that I really found alarming, and that is that only 2% of female entrepreneurs in the US right now are creating female-owned businesses that gross over $1 million. So, that is an astonishing figure to me. It is far too low. And that is why I wanted to create a system that would give female entrepreneurs the methodology and the structure to really accelerate their revenue well past the $1 million mark. And so I took all that I had learned as an attorney and COO and then coaching 101 and put it all into this system. So it is a 9-step system within the Revenue Accelerator, which we call TRA. And we spend 12 months together going through, right, every bit of your calendar year so that I'm your partner in growth and helping you through both the lean times of the year, because every business has some sense of seasonality to it. So I'm there to support you through, every season, the good seasons and the bad, so that we can figure out how to address them and create growth in each of the seasons that you experience. So I love it. It works. Statistically speaking, our participants have about a 50% revenue growth within the first 90 days. And that's overall, not just one revenue stream, but an overall revenue growth of 50%, which is amazing.
Great. And I'm so glad we have an entrepreneur on board who works to make a change in this world. So I'm glad of that. Great. So what are the key strategies an entrepreneur must keep in mind to stabilize say a successful or soaring scale in their business?
Sure. So, there are the 3 big focus areas for the Revenue Accelerator. There are several foundational strategies. There are 3 of those. And then there are but there are 3 strategies that we focus on in the middle section, and those are people, products, and pricing. So in order to really be able to scale your business, to me, it's the focus that is required, right? I'm going to make the assumption that you have already built out the foundation of your business, right? You have clarity on the direction of where you're going. You know exactly what it is that you want to accomplish with your business, that you have confidence that you can reach your destination, but you need some focus and direction on the people that you're going to serve, where to find them, the products that are going to serve them best and what they should be, and how to price them in such a way that you can make a profit. So those are the 3 things that we spend a tremendous amount of time on. In the pricing section, we dive very deep into numbers. Your numbers don't lie, right? They inform and should inform a lot of your decision making. You can have a gut reaction to something, but let's also confirm that it's factually accurate in your numbers. So I help a tremendous amount of our participants get a real grip on their numbers, their profitability, their overall operating profit margin. And then, I help them also figure out, do they have the right products in place to solve the problems of the people that they serve? Oftentimes, there are expanded ways to serve their customer base, but they just can't see it. The old saying in coaching is self can't see self, right? It's very hard to be able to see what you're missing, but it's easy for me to see it as a third party. So I serve as that mirror to help them see what other opportunities exist, what product that can serve the same customer at a really high profit margin. So we examine all of those things all together to the success and continued scaling of the business.
Right. So on that note, lastly, what do you think this world needs the most?
I think what this world needs the most is probably more love, right? It probably sounds a little corny and cheesy, but at the same time, entrepreneurs, I think, are very hard on themselves. They're always striving typically for perfection. They're often striving to, reach marks that other people never have before, right? To chart new territory, to take risks. And with that, it can be a really lonely experience. And so, in order to feel, to me, the sense of self-love, continued, love of what you do, you have to surround yourself with community, right? And you have to surround yourself with other people who are doing what you are doing, taking similar risks, finding it hard, sharing the challenges with one another. And that's exactly what we've tried to create at the BRIMM within the Revenue Accelerator, is that sense of community. Because in order to really love yourself, sometimes we have to, borrow the love and respect that other people seem to have for us first, and then we're able to adopt it on our own. So to me, it's more love. And I think the vehicle that is going to help you get there is putting yourself inside a community.
Very true. So on that note, we come to the end of this interview session. Thank you so much, Ms. Sallie, for joining us today. We had a great time with you, learning more about the BRIMM and the new initiatives you're trying to bring about to make a change in this world that requires so much. Well, so thank you, audience, for joining us today. Hope you had a great time too.
Thank you so much.